have to have a quorum in the chambers.
The meeting, please come to order. For public comments, there is a Google form sign-up link in the chat. Public comments will take place after the non-legislative business. So good evening, everyone. This is December 4th, 2025, and we are starting our council meeting. Can I have the opening prayer by Marilena Rivera?
Heavenly Father, we have assembled to handle the affairs of our city. As we do so, we ask for your guidance and understanding. We pray that our city reaches a place of peace and safety. Keep us out of harm's way and bless those who are in authority. Let respect be key in all our endeavors. Padre Celestial, nos hemos reunido para manejar los asuntos de nuestra ciudad. Al hacerlo, le pedimos su orientación y comprensión. Oramos para que nuestra ciudad alcance un lugar de paz y seguridad, que nos mantenga fuera del peligro y bendecir a los que están en la autoridad. Que el respeto sea clave en todos nuestros esfuerzos. Amén.
Amen. At this time, we will recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Owens,
Present.
Councilwoman Darby, Councilwoman Oliver,
Present.
Councilwoman Harley,
Present.
Councilwoman Willauer,
Here.
Councilwoman McCoy,
Here.
Councilman Johnson,
Here.
Councilman Field,
Present.
Councilwoman Bracy, Councilwoman Cabrera, Councilman Hackett, Councilman Spadola,
Present.
President Congo.
Here.
9 present and 4 absent, sorry.
Okay. I'd like to make an announcement. The following legislation is sponsored by Councilmember Bracy. 0149, the ordinance to amend Chapter 40 of the City Code regarding parental leave and combined leave. So it says Bracy, not Harley, just so if you're looking at your agenda. And then also on the agenda, 0144 will be held tonight by the sponsor. Okay. Now if we can have the reading of the minutes.
November 20th, 2025, City Council met in regular session with remote participation on the above date at 6:34 p.m.
I move that the minutes be filed and recorded and
Second.
voted by a yea, nay vote.
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right, they've been properly moved and seconded. The meetings are accepted as written. On the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay. All right. Can I get the reading of the committee reports?
November 3rd, 2025, President and members of City Council. Ladies and gentlemen, we are Finance and Economic Development Committee met by anchor location and remote participation to who was referred ordinance number 25-060 entitled an ordinance to authorize and approve an agreement between the City of Wilmington and Ring Central Inc. for a communications platform, have given this ordinance careful review and recommend council vote on it at an upcoming council meeting. Respectfully submitted, those members of the Finance and Economic Development Committee. Those members present, Councilwoman Harley, Councilwoman Bracy, Councilwoman Darby, Councilman Oliver, Councilman Spadola, President Congo, absent with leave, Councilman Hackett.
I move the committee report be received, recorded, and filed.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. The report be received, recorded, and filed. On the question, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carried. I'd like to recognize Councilwoman Cabrera is in attendance?
Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right. And any more committee reports?
November 3rd, 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, we, your Finance and Economic Development Committee, met by anchor location and remote participation, to who was referred ordinance number 25-063, entitled An Ordinance to Amend Chapter 2 of the City Code to require all legislative and administrative bodies of the city to provide members of the public a way to participate in public meetings virtually. Have given this ordinance careful review and recommend council vote on it at an upcoming council meeting. Those members present: Councilwoman Harley, Councilwoman Bracy, Councilwoman Darby, Councilwoman Oliver, Councilman Spadola, President Congo, absent with leave, Councilman Hackett.
I move the committee report be received, recorded, and filed.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. The report be received, recorded, and filed. On the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried.
November 13th, 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, we, your Community Development and Urban Planning Committee, met by anchor location and remote participation, to who was referred ordinance number 25-068, entitled An Ordinance to Amend Chapter 34 of the Wilmington City Code to authorize a voluntary rent escrow program. Have given this ordinance careful review and recommend council vote on it at an upcoming council meeting. Those members present: Councilwoman Darby, Councilman Field, Councilwoman McCoy, Councilman Owens, Councilwoman Willauer, President Congo, absent with leave, Councilwoman Cabrera, and Councilman Hackett.
I move the committee report be received, recorded, and filed.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that the report be received, recorded, and filed. On the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
November 13th, 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, we, your Community Development and Urban Planning Committee, met by anchor location and remote participation, to who was referred ordinance number 25-070, entitled An Ordinance to Authorize and Approve 4 one-year extensions of a professional services agreement between the City of Wilmington and Northeast and Bucks Company, trading as Mullen and Lonergan Associates, Inc. Have given this ordinance careful review and recommend council vote on it at an upcoming council meeting. Those members present: Councilwoman Darby, Councilman Field, Councilwoman McCoy, Councilman Owens, Councilwoman Willauer, President Congo, absent with leave, Councilwoman Cabrera, Councilman Hackett.
I move the committee report be received, recorded, and filed.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. The minutes be accepted. I'm sorry. Properly moved and seconded. The report be received, recorded, and filed. On the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
November 17th, 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, we, your Public Works and Transportation Committee, met by anchor location and remote participation, to who was referred ordinance number 25-065, entitled An Ordinance to Amend Chapter 37 of the City Code to establish rules for the usage of low-speed motorized scooters and electric bicycles in the City of Wilmington. Have given this ordinance careful review and recommend council vote on it at an upcoming council meeting. Respectfully submitted, those members of the Public Works and Transportation Committee. Those members present: Councilwoman Oliver, Councilman Field, Councilman Johnson, Councilman Owens, Councilwoman Willauer, and President Congo.
I move this committee report be received, recorded, and filed.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that the report be received, recorded, and filed. On the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Oh. I'd like to recognize Councilman Bracy in attendance.
Thank you.
Any more reports? Okay. All right, can we get the treasurer's report, please?
December 4th, 2025, total investments $534,114,407.45. Total cash on hand $15,531,185.53. Grant total $549,645,592.98. Submitted City Treasurer Dwayne Sims. Sorry.
I move that the treasurer report be recorded and filed and voted on by yea, nay vote.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded. The report be received, recorded, and filed. On the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, I will accept the motion to move to accept all non-legislative business.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it has been properly moved and seconded to accept all non-legislative business on the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. So we do have a recognition resolution. All right, Councilman Oliver?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to invite Mr. Fred Sears II and his family to please come up. While they're coming up here, I'd like to acknowledge that Mr. Fred Sears has been a mentor and a friend of mine and my family for many, many years. He does a lot of work with Urban Promise, which is one of them, or in the 3rd District. There's many Urban Promises, but he has raised a lot of money throughout the years for Urban Promise. And to visit that organization and see the work that has been done is phenomenal. Also, I just thought it was fitting to give Mr. Sears a recognition for his body of work throughout the city of Wilmington for years. And I would like to acknowledge he's one of my mentors that I call and speak to on a regular basis. I think it's important as council members. I know a lot of people don't think it's important, but it's important as council members to talk to individuals who've been in this space for many, many years. So that's the way you learn, and that's how you step up. This is not a job that you can do by yourself. I know many people think you can, but that's not the case. One thing that Mr. Sears has always encouraged me to do is to work with your constituents, work on legislation, and work with the full body. You cannot do this job by yourself. It's a body of work. It's not one individual, and if you try it, you will see you will fail. The sponsors, Councilwoman Xanthia Oliver, whereas it's the Census City Council to honor individuals and organizations who had demonstrated outstanding achievement and deserving of recognition, and acknowledge Fred Sears II merits such distinction. Whereas Fred is the 6th generation Wilmington. He is a proud alumnus of Wilmington Friends School in 1960. He's earned his Bachelor of Science in Business and a Master in Business Administration from the University of Delaware, and was awarded the Honorary Doctor in Business from Golden Beagle College. Whereas, after serving 6 years in Delaware Air National Guards, Fred went on to pursue a 38 years career in Wilmington Financial Industry. He was instrumental in bringing Commerce Bank to Delaware and to the state, and took a role on as a regional president until he retired in 2003. And whereas Fred's roots in service to the city of Wilmington run deep from 1974 to 1976. He held the chair position of finance director and later economic development director for the city of Wilmington. He went to serve 2 terms at large, member at large, under this distinguished council. As the council member, he worked along future Mayor Daniel Farley and James Baker, and past State Representative Joseph DePinto, confronting some of Wilmington's most pressing concerns, including property assessment, school bus plans, domain conversations, condominiums, I'm sorry, I had marked it off, I'm sorry, condominium conversations, and countless other issues. Whereas, following his time on council, Fred continued to devote his time to public service, chair of Downtown Wilmington Improvement Commission, spearheaded WECO, Wilmington Economic Development Corp., and Wilmington Economic Financial Advisory Council. For more than 2 decades, Fred transitioned from banking to accept a position as Chief Executive Officer of statewide Delaware Community Foundation. In that role, he has directed a yearly average of $13 million in grants and scholarship funds to a variety of worthy individuals and causes. Whereas Fred has dedicated time to more than 55 nonprofit boards in Delaware and assists numerous transitional teams for elected officials. He has left an enduring legacy and physical, social landscape in the city of Wilmington. And I must say that I'm in the 3rd district and undefeated because of Fred Sears helping me with my campaign. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the City Council and the City of Wilmington that council is pleased to recognize Fred Sears for his years of outstanding service to people of the City of Wilmington. Job well done.
This is so strange, folks. Thank you for the few of you that are here and the others on Zoom. Never had Zoom meetings when I was, they didn't know what the word was. Zoom was I'm leaving town, Zoom. We met every Thursday in those days. The seat was right over there. I found myself sitting here answering I when you called. You know, it's just a natural instinct when you're in this building, or at least for me it was. But it's an honor to be here with my family. I got Ella here in 4th grade at Brandywine Springs, and Charlie is in 7th grade at Sanford, my granddaughter-in-law Jenny, and Jason, who was born in my first term, City Council, 1968, right? 78, I mean, 78, yeah. So 68, I was still in college. No, 78. But I looked up a lot of history, and that's unfortunately for older folks like myself, I think we're good for 2 things basically now. It's history and advice, whether you want it or not. That's pretty much what we hand out. But I did look up and found out that when they finally changed in 1969 to the current situation with 9 city council people and 3 at large, plus the president, that only happened in 1969. I was the 3rd group of at-large people to ever be elected. But way back in 1890, they actually had 2 representatives for all 12 districts. You had 24 city councilmen. I don't know how the payroll handled that, but 24 city councilmen in our small city. Interesting, they did that because the city went from 1880 of 40,000 citizens to 60,000 citizens in 1890. A 50% increase in growth. I know we've never seen that since the day. And it was 61,000 residents, and I think we're probably still around the 75,000 area members. So that's been a challenge. But it was an honor to serve, and I just hope that most city council members understand the reason that they're serving. I just talked to Kristen about it earlier. I said, you're really being elected to serve the people in your community, and if you really believe in that, it doesn't go away. And so even after you're no longer on city council, there are many opportunities to serve your community, whether it's with other elected officials or whoever. But it's a very, it just sticks with you. If it's in your heart, why you're, and here comes Mr. Spadola, and I was, holy cow. I should have mentioned, Jim, actually, once it changed there for a while, the Republicans were in complete charge from 1890 to 1957. The best the Democrats did was getting 3 out of 12, and I don't know how many they got out of 22, but it wasn't many more. And sometimes it was 10-2. The Democrats, I don't know what happened in 1957, took over, and they even have had, before they got to the at-large vote, they had a 12-0. Republicans just weren't accepted in Wilmington. So I don't know why, but I'm glad to see you, Jim, that's for sure. Just ending up, I really believe that if you honestly know what you're doing in the city of Wilmington, we're all here, certainly in city council as elected officials and in the community, to make it a better place for everybody to live and work and raise a family. And that's the key to life. That's the key to everything. And I'm so happy to be here, and thank you so much.
Councilman Fields?
Take this. Wait a minute, I got something to
Yes,
say.
Mike. Councilman.
Fred, I want to thank you for all of your service, and thank you for the history lesson. And one of the things the kind of rewarding things about being on council is that it is a constant. A lot of almost no issue that we're dealing with is new.
Right.
And one of the fun things that I like doing, helpful, is just whenever there's a tough issue that comes up, okay, how did we deal with this before? And I've really enjoyed being able, especially in the first or second year of the last term, and I saw Joe DePinto's name mentioned, I would just pick up the speed dial.
Yeah.
How did Fred Sears handle this? How did Joe DePinto handle this? And it was the kind of information that you gave was super, super valuable. And for any new council member, I highly recommend, and you've always been welcoming with your time
Absolutely.
to give advice on these issues. And so it has been helpful and rewarding and interesting to hear these lessons over time. So thank you for all that you've done for the city and all that you continue to do. And any new council members ever looking to figure out how this or that issue was addressed in 1982 or 85, give Fred a call.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Phone is open. It is interesting when you mention the numbers of treasurer, too. I happened to look up our budget that we had. The budget was $33 million. So, and you got $500 million. Wait a second. What happened here? How did that go on? And the bottom line also, the first year, Mayor McLaughlin, who had been finance chair, and then I took his seat when I came in, he became the mayor, he hit us with a 10% tax increase. That was his first year. His second year, knowing he's only running for 2 terms, in 1981, he hit us with a 20% tax increase. And as finance chair, as you know, it's my job. It was my job to sell that to city council. Anyway.
Mr. Sears, Councilman Spadola has a few words.
Thank you, Councilmember McCoy. Mr. Sears, great to see you. It's every now and then, every few months, somebody comes in and you get a really odd group of council members all singing their praises. It's a nice one of those nights for you. You got me, Nathan, Xanthi. I see Kobe raising his hand. Some odd bedfellows, as you might imagine, but it's because of the person you are. You've always made yourself available to me in terms of, for political reasons, nonprofit purposes. So you've just been, definitely a mentor, and you've been mentoring other people as well. So it's great to have you here and good to see you. Great recognition.
Thank you, Jim. And you're sitting in my desk, so
Nice.
Be careful. There might be something in that drawer. I don't know.
Is there any other words? Councilman Owens?
Yes. First off, Fred, congratulations on this resolution. I first met you when I was in high school through Sam Beard and Michelle Finance and all of them. And I just want to say the work that you've done for this community has been so important. And I've been following your work for a very long time. I know we've talked quite often. I just want to say thank you for everything you've poured into this city over the years. And I know you're going to continue to pour into the city. And everyone's grateful for the work that you've done for us.
Thank you, Kobe. You're a good man. Appreciate it.
Okay. Councilwoman Willauer.
As Mr. Sears, I just wanted to say a lot of the same things that everybody else has, but I hope that you, take away from all the comments that all of us make and how it's, each one of us has a personal connection to you, just how many people you've touched, how many lives you've touched. And when I started with the land bank, when we were launching the land bank and you were on the board and, working out all the details, you were just somebody who brought so much understanding and experience and were willing to share it and just made that organization so much stronger. So I just appreciate everything that you've done to build up institutions across the city and along the way just impact so many people developing as leaders.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Councilman Bracy?
So, chiming in as well. I think everything that needs to be said has been said. I just wanted to say thank you for always being an example of leadership and always willing to talk to any of us from my days back working for Chris Coons and Tom Carper and all of them, and then working in the nonprofit world when you were at the Community Foundation. You've always been, and then campaigning and working with, you've always been someone that has, great advice, great knowledge, great wisdom, and have never been selfish enough to keep it to yourself. You always are willing to share what you know or give it, don't do this, do that, or maybe you should think about that, or, so you've always been that example of leadership, and so thank you for all of that. And clearly you've impacted a lot of us,
Appreciate it.
Okay.
50 years next year will be when I first ran. So.
And we actually have some of my colleagues on Zoom. Councilwoman Harley?
Yes, Councilmember McCoy, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hear you, yeah.
Okay, first of all, I want to thank Councilmember Oliver for recognizing Mr. Sears, and I want to say congratulations to you, Mr. Sears, for your work and your outstanding public service. Now, I must admit, I've heard a lot of great things about you and your great works in the community and how you have mentored so many. But tonight was my first time hearing that you were the finance chair when you was on city council. So I consider myself a life learner. So Mr. Sears, I will definitely be reaching out to you to just get some gems and jewels from you because if you do this job right as the finance chair, it is a lot of hard work, but it's rewarding work. And I will definitely be reaching out to you. And again, congratulations to you. And thank you again, Councilmember Oliver, for recognizing Mr. Sears.
Okay.
Thank you. I hope they're paying you extra for that job. When I was a councilman, our pay was $8,000 a year, but I got $1,500 extra for that. So,
Wow! Thank you for that tip.
right.
Councilwoman Cabrera.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, Fred, what can I say? We have been friends for what it seems like a lifetime. I met you at an early age when I was working with Mayor Sills. You have been a source of inspiration, a guide, a mentor, including with helping me make decisions with my own son's education. You said some words today that are very important for all of us to remember that why we are here, the why. And whether we're in an elected office or not, it's about community service, it's about giving back to the community. But as trusted leaders of our community, we have to remember why we're here and why we do this job, because it is a thankless job on most days. A lot of challenges and times definitely have gotten harder, but you've seen a lot of those times back in the day. So I want to thank you for your continued guidance. And Councilmember Oliver, I just can't believe we haven't had Fred recognized before this. So thank you for thinking of him, bringing him forth. He's a very humble man. I remember him from before his grandchildren were born, but it's certainly very deserving. And he too is one of my mentors, and I will definitely be calling on you shortly. But I thank you for your friendship, and I thank you for your service to our city and your continued service with your profound advice and wisdom. Know that I love you, your wife, and your family from the bottom of my heart. This is well deserved. Happy holidays to you and the family.
Thank you, Maria. You're a long-time good friend. Right?
We have one last. President Congo.
Oh.
Are you still there?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Sorry I couldn't be there today, Fred, but congratulations. There's probably not a week that goes by when my dad doesn't mention your name, and just everything just talking about everything that you've done for the city and done for different boards. He always says that you've been on at least 40 boards. So I have to give him the update that it's 55 boards that you have served on. But again, man, just congratulations. This is definitely something that you deserve. Happy holidays and happy belated birthday.
Thank you, Trippy. Look forward to seeing you soon. Yep, take care.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Sears. I don't know if I can put anything on that. All I can state is I just looked up your terms. I seen from 76 to 84. So you were smack dab in the middle of that reassessment.
No,
so,
that's reassessment and busing. I can see a poor lady here with her little child saying, my child is going to be bused to Newark. We still had the school district then, Wilmington School District. My child is going to be bused to Newark, hour and a half at least each way by the time they pick people up. And for a 5-year-old, that is not fair. Ooh. And we're sitting here saying we have no control, but we're happy to hear your voice. It's tough. The last thing I didn't mention, which somehow I think there's heredity to this, my great-grandfather, which I didn't know till after I left city council, was on city council from 1911 to 1913. They were 2-year terms. Wow. James Frank White. He was replaced. He had Market Street District 6 at the time. He was replaced by John Hopkins, who owned a Hopkins movie theater for a long time. John Hopkins they were 2-year terms, won 16 terms in a row. Not many. He ought to be honored somewhere. Nobody can run every 2 years and win 16 times.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sears.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay. So we're just going to look at the rest of the recognitions. From all council, we recognize Chris Madden's retirement. Councilwoman Oliver, recognizing the commemorating the Social Security Act and 90-year anniversary of the signing. And Councilman Owens, we recognize Lakia Allen, 1-year anniversary of the Selfie Restaurant. As for sympathy resolutions, Councilman Spadola has a sympathy resolution for Mr. John P. Del Gasio. Okay, so we're going to move to our public comment. As a friendly reminder, please watch your step when you come up to the podium. We have 2 speakers coming up. We have Deacon Earl Tate. Now remember that there is a form. The form sign up is on the chat. The time limit is 3 minutes. Please keep your comments to general matters pertaining to Wilmington councilmanic districts of City Council, and please address the president directly or myself, the chair. Please be mindful and try to refrain from any use of profanity or vulgar remarks, as this meeting is being live streamed to the public. How you doing, Deacon? All right, and I will give you a reminder once you reach 30 seconds.
Greetings. My name is Deacon Earl E. Tate, who's never late because he don't want to lose his pair of roller skates. And I say thank you, and I want to say this is the time, a season for all people to be happy and to be rejoicing. For those of us that are here, for those of us that have come together and have each other so near and dear to us, so close. But just remember, this is a season that we shouldn't take lightly. Don't be in a hurry to get nowhere in the cars, because you still got to remember there's people out on the street, little ones as well as big ones, and they got a life too. So before you take off to go where you have to go, be sure you leave the house on time or ahead of time, so you won't have to hurry down the street and get in an accident or so forth. And plus, out on these streets, we still need some type of speed bumps or stop signs and so forth to slow the people down, because some of the people still are driving like as they say, a bat out of hell. We don't want to drive that way. We want to take the time to drive like we got some sense, in our head, and also remember that every life you save could be the life of your own, and also this year is coming to an end, so let us take this year out with a celebration of happiness and joyfulness to each other, and also this year, let us remember that the life of the young ones got to take over from where we left off. So remember that, and hug them and say them that you love them, and care for them, and show them that you care for them. Because if you don't, someone else surely will. And I want to say happy holiday to you all.
30 seconds. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Watch that.
Oh, I forgot to say this. On 26th Street, where they had fixed the street up, the street is beginning to make a big hole on 26th and Jessup. I had somebody to go down there to check on, because we don't want no fatal accident to happen down there.
Thank you. All right, we can go to our virtual signups next. We'll switch between the two. We have Tanya Williamson. Is she on the line?
Yes, I am. I'm not sure if I opened up the public comment, but I believe that first I give respect to all the council persons, President Cancel Trippy Congo, We're just signing in for the disposition, but we're in Atlanta, Georgia, so I wasn't sure what our proper protocol was. So we're just hearing if there's any questions.
Okay, thank you. This is just your time to be able to make a comment. If that is it, then we'll move on to the next. Thank you. Okay. Inside the chambers, we have Katrina Rothwell.
Good evening to City Council and everyone present. Council President Trippy Congo, it's a pleasure to be here with everyone this evening. So my name is Katrina Rothwell. I'm the president of the East Lawn Civic Association, starting here in this year of 2025 and progressing forward into future years. I really want to display my strong opposition to the closing of this Plummer Center. I'm sure we're all aware of what's happening right there, but specifically focusing on the impact and decision that the people have made with regard to this Plummer Center closing with no viable option to replace the services. My major concern is the things with regards to the reasons they're closing it, what they plan to do does not speak to the volumes of what they will do or what they are doing. And the concerns that I had with the meeting that I attended recently is we have individuals who rely on their families being close to them. We rely on the safety of our community and the safety of our children and our families and the people who deserve the second chances that they are offered the opportunity with the Plummer Center. And you cannot expect people to, from what I heard from the commissioner's standpoint, was they're going to take people from Wilmington, when Wilmington and the city of Wilmington, all they didn't know, the families are right here in our backyards, but you're going to bus them, transport them 2 hours away to a different county where they don't know anybody, where they don't have any family, no support systems, no things to keep them safe, secure, and out of trouble. We talk about not wanting our prison systems to be overcrowded. We talk about not wanting homeless populations to get worse. We talk about all the things that make our communities unsafe. And it reminds me of someone coming into your home, taking things out of your home without your permission. They didn't reach out to communities. They didn't reach out to people that matter. They didn't ask for people's information and what they thought about it before they made this decision to close the Plummer Center. And as a president that represents communities and represents my constituents and the people that's in my neighborhood, I speak on behalf of them who have families that had support from the Plummer Center.
30 seconds.
What will they do from this standpoint? We need a voice. We need people to come together, and we need to act swiftly on what's going to be recourse for the people that are going to need these services, that or have the opportunity to re-enter to communities safely, to not recommit crimes in the city. They're going to go down to Sussex County or go down to other areas of our state and recommit crimes. But what about the people right here in this city and in this backyard?
Thank you, Ms. Rothwell.
Thank you.
And we have another virtual sign up, Lena Carter. Did I say that right? Is Ms. Lena Carter still on the virtual? Okay. All right, thank you. So that'll be all for public comment. All right, we'll get down to legislative business. Councilwoman Oliver.
Yes. We have a lot here tonight. 1 second. Okay, we have this. Thank you, Ms. President, Madam President. Have a first. Let me get my stuff together here. I got a lot of stuff to get together here. Yeah, I just want to make sure I get my stuff here. for myself. Okay. I have a resolution. Madam President, I have a resolution to present.
Resolution 25-062, agenda number 0145. Whereas pursuant to Wilmington City Charter 1-101, the city may acquire, hold, manage, and dispose of property on such terms as it deems proper for any municipal purpose. And whereas Wilmington Code.
I move this resolution be received, recorded, and filed, and adopted.
It's been properly moved and seconded that the resolution be received, recorded, and filed, and adopted by a yea or nay vote. On the question?
Yes, Madam President, this resolution approves a Families Thriving LLC bid for one of the parcels, partial real estate located 1331 Vanderbilt Avenue, Wilmington, Delaware, 19801, partial number 26-037. 10-01 as a bid of the best bidder, authorize the mayor and city clerk and their respective designated to execute any all documents necessary to dispose of this property. Madam President, I'm very familiar. It's just an empty lot. This company, this couple, they have invested in various areas of the city of Wilmington. They work closely with the Housing Authority to help place some of the individuals over Riverside who are looking for affordable housing. So they met with Bob Weir and Tom Ford for over a year working on this project. As I stated, it's an empty lot, and they're going to just build a house to rent to affordable housing.
Anyone else have any questions? Okay. All right. Clerk, call for the roll.
Councilman Owens?
My hand is up, Madam President.
Oh. My apologies. Councilman Harley.
Oh, thank you. No problem. I just wanted to say that I am in support of this disposition. I reached out to Director Weir to fully understand disposition because I know it's been a while since we've had one to come before council. And I really appreciate him explaining how there is a difference in terms of properties that can be dispositioned versus going to the land bank. And one of the differences is that if there are federal dollars that are given for these particular properties, they have a requirement as it relates to how they can be transferred. So I just wanted it to be on record that I did reach out to Director Weir. I also want to say that the company, the business that is receiving this disposition has done poor excellent work, and they are out in the community doing great work. And I just think that this is another way for us to stabilize our communities by partnering with great other businesses, such as the business that's going to acquire this particular property. So I just wanted to share that and to be on record. And I would like to be a co-sponsor. Thank you.
All right. Okay, anyone else? All right, clerk, call for the roll.
Councilman Owens?
Yes.
Councilwoman Oliver?
Yes.
Councilwoman Harley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Willauer?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes.
Councilman Field?
Yes.
Councilwoman Bracy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabrera?
Yes.
Councilman Spadola?
Yes.
President Congo?
Yes.
11 yeas and 2 absent.
Declare adopted.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I have a resolution to present.
Resolution 25-063, agenda number 0146. Whereas pursuant to Wilmington Charter Section 8-205, the city may sell or exchange real estate
I move this I move this resolution be received, recorded, and filed, adopted by yea and nay vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. The resolution be received, recorded, and filed, and adopted by a yea or nay vote. On the question?
Yes, Madam President. All this was discussed in the committee meeting, but this is a resolution authorizing the Department of Public Works to grant Delmar Power and Light Company to a utility assessment. I know what I'm saying in my mind. For installing operational maintenance of a pad-mounted transformer across the East 16th Street. Delmar Power, they did send a representative. This is just an ongoing project that they've been working on in back of over 81 Village assessment. Easement, I'm sorry.
Any other questions? Okay.
Now, I just wanted to mention it's the pumping station,
Okay.
Vanderbilt Avenue.
Clerk, call for the roll.
Councilman Owens?
Yes.
Councilwoman Oliver?
Yes.
Councilwoman Harley? Councilwoman Harley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Willauer?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes.
Councilman Field?
Yes.
Councilwoman Bracy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabrera?
Yes.
Councilman Spadola?
Yes.
President Congo?
Yes.
11 yeas and 2 absent.
Declared adopted.
Thank you, Madam President. I have another resolution to present.
Resolution 25-064, agenda number 0147. Whereas Section 3-802 of the City Charter provides that the Wilmington Parking Authority shall continue as constituted by the provisions of Title 22, Delaware Code, Chapter 5, until otherwise changed by law. And whereas...
Oh, I'm sorry, he's talking. I move the resolution be received, recorded, and filed, and adopted by a yea and nay vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. The resolution be received, recorded, and filed, and adopted by a yea and nay vote. On the question?
Yes, Madam President. This resolution confirms Mayor John Carney's appointments, Mike Przicki, Dwight Holden, Sylvia Banks, reappointment of Jeff Lynn, Larry Carson to the Board of Directors of Wilmington Parking Authority to serve as members as a board for terms to be expired on June the 30th, 2026, June the 30th, 2027, June the 3rd, 2028, June 3rd, 2029, June the 30th, 2030, respectfully.
Councilman Johnson?
As mentioned during the committee meeting, I have a conflict of interest due to the executive director being my father-in-law. Although, be that aside, I know all these individuals and they're great individuals. I believe to serve in the Wilmington Parking Authority, and as someone who frequents Philadelphia, New York, other big cities, D.C. for business, you can't get better than the rates we have here. You can park, I believe, for a full day, like for $8. So whereas other cities, it's like, $40. So hats off to Wilmington Parking Authority for working with the city.
Any other one? Councilman Owens?
Yes, I know these are recommendations from the mayor, this current mayor. I do have concerns with one individual on here. I just hope that the board keeps prices affordable for individuals who are in the city of Wilmington, and not see a skyrocket of prices. That's it.
Any other questions? Okay. Clerk, call for the roll.
Councilman Owens?
Yes.
Councilwoman Oliver?
Yes.
Councilwoman Harley? Councilwoman Harley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Willauer?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Present.
Councilman Field?
Yes.
Councilwoman Bracy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabrera?
Yes.
Councilman Spadola?
Yes.
President Congo?
Yes.
10 yeas, 1 present, and 2 absent.
Thank you, Madam
Declared
President.
adopted.
I'm sorry. Thank you. Madam President, I have a resolution to present.
Resolution 25-065, agenda number 0148. Whereas pursuant to section 2-363 of the City Code, City
This
Council.
resolution be received, recorded, and filed, adopted by unanimous vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. The resolution be received, recorded, and filed, and adopted by unanimous vote. On the question.
Yes, Madam President, I put a piece of updated article on most individuals' desks. This resolution authorized the Department of Public Works. They received a grant from DHSS in emerging contamination of small or disadvantaged communities. Grant an amount of, and not to exceed, $1,983,061. Such amount DHSS awarded is posed a grant that would be used to support completion and design for the first phase of construction to incorporate most effective means to removing PFS. Basically, is contaminated water from the city source at the Porter and the Brandywine plants. It's no matching funding, and I would like to say this give kudos to our federal delegation. This was pushed from our federal delegation, and DHSS was awarded this grant, and it's overdue. And this is a prime example to show how Wilmington, we are really on top of our game throughout the state, but really in Wilmington when it comes to clean water. And this is one of many grants to show how we stay on clean water, and I just wanted to mention that.
Okay. Councilman Owens.
Yes. Can I be added as a co-sponsor? Again, anything to deal with getting rid of forever chemicals in our waterway is extremely important as a city. So hopefully there will be more opportunities for us to go after federal funds and state funds to do this. And for those who don't know, PFAS has tremendous health risks for a lot of people. It can cause cancer, organ damage, immune disruption, and other health problems as well too. So again, this is very good, and I hope we're awarded more grants to remove PFAS from our waterways.
Councilman Willauer.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd also like to be added as a co-sponsor, and I think it's really great to see all levels of government working together to bring these kind of resources to invest in safe water in Wilmington.
Anyone else? Councilwoman Harley?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I want to ditto the comments of Councilmember Owens. I believe it was last year that myself, you, and a number of us went to Washington, D.C., and we learned a lot about what was coming down the pike in terms of municipalities cleaning up our water and making sure that it was safe. So I'm glad to see that this is happening for Wilmington, and I too would like to be added as co-sponsor. Thank you.
Is anyone else? Okay. I would like to be added as a co-sponsor as well. I'd just like to add that I am glad that the funding got here when it did. From what I'm looking at when it comes to the news, I don't think that is a priority right now with the new administration, but I'm glad that the former made certain that this was able to get through to us. Clerk, please call for the roll.
Excuse me.
Oh, Councilman Johnson.
I wanted to be added as a co-sponsor as well, as I was in that briefing in the White House with many of you, and this is urgent, so
yeah,
glad to join in.
Madam President, no, I would like to make a final statement that, a lot of us also, and Christian was with my group, being that the public chair, I try to make it my business to go down to the Brandywine pump station on a regular, and it's one up 202. We have a a lot of, right down to Brandywine, but to go in there and see a lot of them old pipes and everything. So this funding is really going to be to, as you said, just to keep our water clean, and a lot of them old steel pipes from 1920 and 18. So I'm just looking forward to getting some new updated equipment also. That's it.
Councilwoman Cabrera?
Yes, I would like to be added as a sponsor. I also was part of that field trip, and I'm glad that we did get the funding because this is really crucial. And these are very dangerous particles that we're ingesting. All of our bodies have PFAs in them right now, but if we can limit it, it will certainly help the next generation. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. You're good?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, always got to make sure we go back to the end. All right. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Owens?
Yes.
Councilwoman Oliver?
Yes.
Councilwoman Harley? Councilwoman Harley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Willauer?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes.
Councilman Field?
Yes.
Councilwoman Bracy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabrera?
Yes.
Councilman Spadola?
Yes.
President Congo?
Yes.
11 yeas and 2 absent.
Declare adopted.
1 second, I'm looking for a piece of paper. Here it is right here. Okay. Last but not least, Madam President, I have a final ordinance that I would like to, Madam President, I have an ordinance present and call for the third and final reading.
Ordinance number 25-065, agenda number 0133, an ordinance to amend Chapter 37 of the City Code to establish rules for the usage of low-speed motorized scooters and electric bicycles in the city of Wilmington.
Madam President, I move this be known for the enacting clause and call for a yea and nay vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that it be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance and call for the yea and nay vote. On the question?
Yes, Madam President, this is merely an ordinance closely mirroring the state legislation to keep local rules aligned with consistence. This is from House Bill 114, sponsored by Representative Cindy Romo and Senator Dave Sokola. And what it was, it's no legislation on the books for the city of Wilmington. And, you know, I know the e-bikes and the scooters are for recreation, but they can be very dangerous. And reading up on them, I mean, a guy almost ran into me one day by the Y, and it wasn't nowhere for me to turn. It was a bus and a car, so I just stopped. And you just see them going up and down the street all over, and they're very dangerous. And when you read up on them, several people have been killed, 60-year-old man and Maryland, kids in Dover, Newark, and various throughout the state and the country. So I thought it was imperative to put something on the books here in Wilmington and make it also an educational piece, not for the police to be chasing down or the authorities to kill somebody on a bike, but for them to become more knowledgeable about the rules and regulations. So I put on everybody's desk, as you can see, when we get to the key difference from the state law. So it's nothing like seeing it physically. You see Class A, Class 2 e-bikes, maximum 20 miles an hour. Ages 7 to 12 must be supervised by parental guidance, and ages 13 may ride alone. And when you get to Class 3 e-bikes, the maximum 28 miles an hour and mirrors the state law. Riders must be 16 plus. Then you get to low-speed motorized scooters, maximum 15 miles an hour, mirrors the state law. Recently permitted state law under House Bill 1114, the ordinance incorporates the same authorization. And when you get to the helmets, requires 1 to 2 helmets recommended, requires riders under 18. Class 3 helmets require all riders. Scooters helmet recommended require riders over 18. And the basic thing for the traffic, we made up the cards right here, the e-cards for scooter and safety, and we took them and had a press conference down to the urban bike on 16th Street with Laura, and that is the urban only bike facility we have in the city of Wilmington right now. So Laura gave us a lot of ideas, and we've been working on this for quite a while. So these are the cards that we gave out down there. We went to Howard, we went to Bancroft, and they were, the police were there, and they were giving them, they said they were going to take them and give them out. And they took, like I said, it's an informational thing. Now, when it gets to the fines, we're just asking people to be safe, use your arm, use your horn, put these cards in your wallet, put your name and information on it, and it's a cue card for the Urban Bike Project. If you'd like to go down there, they have, they launched a Sikh-friendly bike helmet donation. So it's a lot of things going on with the urban bike that we just wanted to work with them as it relates to this legislation. And someone asked about the penalties. The penalties imposed by the state, Title 21, Chapter 41, reference to state riders. Helmet violation, 18 can carry up to a $25 fine to a $50 fine. It depends on the, how many offensive you have. In addition, for penalties, unsafe and unlawful operations can be from 25 to 115 fine for the first offense. So all of this right here is already, far as the fines, is already laid out with the state law. We were just putting something on the books for the city of Wilmington. As I stated, this could be, to me, it reminds me when scooters came out and people had to get used to scooters. And this is pretty much the same thing, but people need to know that you should be driving in the right direction and not riding towards me, and use your arms for signaling and not just cutting in and out because it can be dangerous. So this is what this is all about.
Thank you. All right, Councilman Spadola.
Thank you, Councilmember McCoy. Good piece tonight, Councilmember Oliver. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think as far as I can recall, I think we've avoided any serious bike incidents in Wilmington, bike versus pedestrian. I know, other municipalities in Delaware have not been as lucky as we have, but I think the educational component that comes with this legislation, the publicity you do, just in terms of educating the drivers of these scooters and e-bikes, that if you're going fast and you're not careful, you're pretty darn close to being a weapon on wheels if you're driving by people thinking that they're aware of you, or if they got little kids running around. So hopefully this legislation, not only does it put some, gets us in line with state law, but it also pushes the importance of responsible driving. And please add me as a co-sponsor. Thank you.
Councilman Johnson.
I wish to be added as a co-sponsor as well. Hats off, as I mentioned during the committee meeting. This is great work because it's not just a piece of legislation, it's the PR piece that goes around to it. So just please let us know how we can help, because I believe, Urban Bike Project, what they do is not only important for the e-bikes, but also for what they do with bike lanes. Because Wilmington still, unlike other cities, we don't have a lot of protections for bikers, whereas other cities, they have barriers and other things we don't. So I hear from the biking community all the time about that issue. So we can hopefully work with them to improve our roads, to make it safer for regular bikers and then also scooter riders.
Okay. Councilwoman Harley.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I too would like to be added as a co-sponsor. Thank you, Councilmember Oliver. This is a great piece of legislation. I see this as a public safety measure in terms of helping the community to even be safer, establishing this policy. And I am just hoping that we will put forth all efforts to make sure that it gets enforced. Thank you.
Councilman Owens.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. First off, Councilwoman Oliver, thank you for bringing this forward. Please add me as a co-sponsor. And also, I just wanted to piggyback off of what Councilman Johnson said. It is important for us to continue to look at how we can connect the city in a safe way for individuals who are not only on the electric e-bikes and scooters, but on bikes and other. I know we've started to do that in certain areas, especially over my way, but making sure that you can get from the north side all the way over to the west side to Union Street safely on a bike or something like that. So thank you for bringing this forward.
Councilman Willauer.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And again, Councilwoman Oliver, I think this is a great piece of legislation, and I really appreciate how you've had a chance to work with the Urban Bike Project and just the resources in the community. There's a lot of young people who are using these. They're having fun, but residents do talk about the dangers that come with that. So I feel like this is very balanced, and this just sets rules around something that's brand new. So I want to thank you for being innovative and for being on top of this issue. And I think I said, please add me as a co-sponsor.
Anyone else?
Yeah. So, Madam President, I appreciate everybody for coming on as a co-sponsor, because everybody should have some, boundaries and be careful. It's the holidays coming, and a lot of my friends are talking about buying their kids these little scooters, and I've been trying to inform them and give them information. But I do one last thing: seeking a gently used bike helmet donation. They are having at the Urban Bike League. If anybody has a old helmet that's you want to pass on, please feel free to drop them off down to the Urban Bike Monday through Friday. They have various hours, so you can go on their cue card and find out. And that'll be all. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Please call for the roll.
Councilman Owens.
Yes.
Councilwoman Oliver.
Yes.
Councilwoman Harley.
Yes.
Councilwoman Willauer.
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Field.
Yes.
Councilwoman Bracy.
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabrera.
Yes.
Councilman Spadola. Yes. President Congo.
Yes.
11 yeas and 2 absent.
That'll be all, Madam President. Thank you.
Thank you. So the next ordinance looks like it's Bracy rather than Hartley.
No, Councilwoman Harley. It's Harley.
It is Hartley? Hold up. Is right?
Hello?
Okay. All right. Councilman Harley.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I have an ordinance to present, agenda item number 0124, and call for the third and final reading.
Ordinance number 25-060, agenda number 0124, an ordinance to authorize and approve an agreement between the City of Wilmington and Ring Central Inc. for communications platform.
Madam Chair, I move that it be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance and call for the yea and nay vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that it be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance and call for the yea and nay vote on the question.
Yes, Madam Chair, this ordinance basically authorizes the city to enter into a 5-year agreement with Ring Central Inc. for a communications platform that basically unifies and brings together voice, video, messaging, and contact center services, also with an option to extend the agreement for a one additional year. The fiscal impact is basically a total estimated dollar amount of $163,089.88 for 5 years, with the option for one additional year at the same estimated annual price. And in the back of each of the council members' packet, they will see the Exhibit A, which actually has the initial order form attached, and it also has attachment A there to show and share the services that Ring Central will be providing for the city of Wilmington.
Okay. Any other questions? All right. So, did you have any other, did you want to close, Councilwoman?
Yes, yes. If there's no comments on the question, yes.
Okay, all right. Clerk, please call for the roll.
Councilman Owens?
Yes.
Councilwoman Oliver?
Yes.
Councilwoman Harley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Willauer?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes.
Councilman Field?
Yes.
Councilwoman Bracy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabrera?
Yes.
Councilman Spadola?
Yes.
President Congo?
Yes.
11 yeas and 2 absent.
Declare adopted.
That's all I have, Madam Chair. Thank you.
And thank you. Councilman Owens?
Yes. On behalf of Councilmember McCoy, I have an ordinance to present and call for the third and final reading.
Ordinance number 25-068, agenda number 0139, an ordinance to amend Chapter 34 of the Wilmington City Code to authorize a voluntary rent escrow program.
Madam Pro Temp, I move that this be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance and call for the yea and nay vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that it be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance and call for the yea and nay vote on the question.
Yes, this is a ordinance that establishes a rent escrow program. And before I get into it, I just want to give you your kudos for the hard work that you've done with this over the years. I know it's been about 2-3 years of you working on this, and it's been vetoed twice, and you have not given up. So thank you for your dedication and your passion for this. But again, this establishes a rent escrow program here in the city of Wilmington. It has 2 different fiscal notes to give flexibility to the administration. This was a part of the administration's reasoning of what they wanted to see changed in this. So I did want to read that real quick. So option 1 would be implementation of a city administered volunteer rent escrow program, which would cost the city about $206,000. Again, that is to create a position at about $74,000, and someone in Salesforce, required software in Salesforce at $75,000 as well too. Option 2 is a third-party contractor, which would cost the city about $104,000 to operate. And again, this would be able to go out $100,000 for a third-party operation fees, and about $4,200 to kind of promote the program. If there's any questions, sorry.
All right. Councilman Johnson.
I would like to be added as a co-sponsor, as I think the history of this is really interesting. I think you should write a book about the history of this. Since I've been on council, there's very few legislators who are as dogged as you. So again, hats off just to you working with administrations, every administration, and getting this through. And definitely I like the flexibility of having the options. And I think this will hopefully spur change in Delaware law, because if you go other jurisdictions, they don't even have to do this through a third party. They can just do it through their own bank. Like Pennsylvania, for instance, they can do it through their own bank. I don't know why Delaware requires this, but they do. So I think this is a good way to solve this issue, and look forward to promoting this program throughout the city with you.
Okay. Councilman Spadola.
Thank you, Councilmember McCoy. Congrats on your work on this. My original concern when I was the sole no vote before the veto, I was concerned that it wasn't aligned with state law, that the type of complaint a tenant could bring to the city to potentially go into the escrow program was undefined, potentially exposing the city to liability and getting involved with tenant disputes, landlord-tenant disputes, and also harming the tenant in the sense that they're not paying rent against state law and still thinking they're doing the right thing, but still leading themselves to get evicted. I was also concerned about the city themselves running this at such a steep fiscal note. And I was tickled pink when I read the updated version, and both of those concerns were taken into account. So I'm happy to support it tonight. From my conversation with the administration, it sounds like they will be going the third-party route, which makes a lot of sense. It's a lot cheaper. I think it'll be done way more efficiently than the city could. And also, I do want to compliment you as well. I put out a statement right after. I'm sure I wasn't your favorite person for a bit, but I saw you had a response. At no point did we attack each other's character. did we impugn each other's motives. We stuck to the issue at hand, and I think we got better policy for it as well. And I also commend you for not going through the spectacle of the veto override, which, as you know, wouldn't have passed. So again, I commend you for working on this for years, and I think we got a good product here. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Field.
Yeah, I was impressed with the process that you followed. And I think you set an example for other council members of what to do when at first you put something forward and there's opposition, whether within the council or from the mayor's office. Rather than have a temper tantrum, you just kept plugging away and just, figured out. You handled it in a very mature way, diplomatically, and found a way to make it work for all the people involved, and you got it over the finish line. And so let this be an example of, for other council members, of how to deal with opposition in a mature and sophisticated way.
Thank you.
Madam President.
Councilman Oliver.
No, I'd like to echo everything my council members stated tonight, and especially when you come against opposition and not to be working with your colleagues, and like they said, you accepted it and you still work with the administration. I'd like to give kudos to the administration. And you didn't feed into the negativity where somebody's trying to take your legislation and all that, because that's what Fred was talking about tonight. We work together. Just because you don't see eye to eye on a piece of legislation, that don't mean you go and take somebody's legislation and start a whole bunch of unnecessary noise about nothing. So I appreciate you taking a stand and being mature about the whole situation and say, oh, you know what, let's go back to the drawing board and let's try to figure this out. And for that, I honor you and I appreciate you, and I appreciate being your colleague tonight. Not like always, but I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Bracy.
I'm just going to chime in with everybody else. Everybody's giving you your flowers. I don't know how many times we've talked about this.
Yes.
And you were just like, I'm not giving up.
Yeah.
All of the emotional roller coaster of trying to figure out what to do, what the administration wanted. But through it all, you stayed steadfast. And to your credit, like, you stayed professional. And you were like, well, let me find out why this got vetoed, and let me really understand. And, you went back to the drawing board with them and said, no, y'all going to sit in this room with me, and we're going to figure this out. And that's exactly what you did, and now you have a really good piece of legislation. And you knew how I felt about the first one. So, congratulations for staying the course and actually working, putting your head down and quietly working. And just, let me just block out the noise and go across the hall and find out what we need to do to get this done. And that's what you did. So congratulations.
Thank you. Councilwoman Harley.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I just did all the comments as it relates to the rest of the council members. I would like to be added as a co-sponsor. We've had many conversations about this legislation as well. I am hoping that we, if at all possible, we can get the third party to manage this process, because, of course, I think it would be a perfect match with a housing or nonprofit type organization. But I also want to say this whole situation definitely was a very good example of how respect, civility, professionalism, and working in a compromising fashion, how the community wins. Because at the end of the day, it's about getting the legislation over the fence. And that's how the community wins, is getting the legislation over the fence. So I want to say congratulations to you. And I just hope that the community, once this gets in place, that they will take advantage of it. So again, I would like to be added as a co-sponsor, and congratulations. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Cabrera?
Yes, thank you. Of course, everything that has been mentioned, I will echo the same sentiments. What stood out for me was your constant communication and asking for feedback. And I appreciate being included in the process. As I had mentioned to you from the get-go, that you had my support and you found a way to, go meet the administration halfway to what needed to be done. Again, true example, as Councilmember Field mentioned, of the process. The process works if we sit down and rationally look at the pros and the cons and compromise respectfully. That's what you did through this process, and you didn't give up. You didn't take no for an answer. And I did support you throughout the whole process, and I thank you for including me. And congratulations. We'll be voting yes.
Thank you. President Conga?
Yes, I'd like to be added as a co-sponsor, please. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so I do have some words to add. I just want to say thank you so much to all of my colleagues who have been part of the process. Don't think that it was just me. I came out here stating, like, this is what I want, and I basically was all in Daniel's face, like, this is what I want. But I ended up with a piece of legislation that was maybe not as balanced as I would have liked. The fact that you guys were patient and y'all still waited to see if it can be better, I do appreciate you. I'm glad that we finally came together and actually have something that's really worth getting over the finish line. I thank so much to the administration for making certain that they still wanted to work with me, that they allowed me to still see my vision and be able to state what will be, I guess, fair, so that the city would not be harmed in the product. So I said, I do thank you. I said, this was definitely a collaboration, and I'm so glad that everybody was able to feel like they got what they need. And this is going to be a tool for the tenants for the city of Wilmington. And although, things look just a smidge different, whatever, we've been given some more options on how we're going to go ahead and get this program done or finished. The thing is that it has not changed. What it is that this is just the escrow account. Rent withholding is still part of the state law. It's just that we wanted to make certain we gave the residents of Wilmington another opportunity, and those who may, this is what I used to battle back and forth with Councilman Bracy on, those who may need a little bit more discipline and a space to place their funds. I wanted to make certain that we offered them that tool. So I said, thank you all. I didn't know whether or not you got a chance to say about your co-sponsor, but okay.
Yes. Can I be a co-sponsor?
Yeah.
All right.
I said, I wanted to make certain that you got a chance to be on, because you always kept on saying, I want to make certain I'm a co-sponsor.
So,
all right.
Madam President, I don't remember saying I wanted to be a co-sponsor.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right. Thank you.
That'll be all.
So that's all that I had to say. So I thank you. I thank you all so much. Did you have anything else, Councilman Owens?
No, again, thank you for your work on this, and we can call the roll.
Okay. Clerk, call for the roll.
Councilman Owens.
Yes.
Councilwoman Oliver.
Yes.
Councilwoman Harley.
Yes.
Councilwoman Willauer.
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Field.
Yes.
Councilwoman Bracy.
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabrera.
Yes.
Councilman Spadola.
Yes.
President Congo.
Yes.
11 yeas and 2 absent.
Declare adopted. Okay. And Councilwoman Bracy, do you have some legislation?
Madam Pro Tem, I have an ordinance to present and call for the first and second reading.
Ordinance number 25-073, agenda number 0149, an ordinance to amend Chapter 40 of the City Code regarding parental leave and combined leave.
First reading of the ordinance.
An ordinance to amend Chapter 40 of the City Code regarding parental leave and combined leave.
Second reading of the ordinance.
Madam Pro Tem, I move that this be known as the first and second reading of the ordinance and refer to the Finance and Economic Development Committee.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that it be known as the first and second reading of the ordinance and referred to the Finance and Economic Development Committee.
Madam Pro Tem, I have a resolution to present.
Resolution 25-066, agenda number 0150. Whereas pursuant to section 2-363 of the City Code, City Council deemed it necessary and proper to specify the requirements for review and approval of city-sponsored grant applications.
I move this resolution be received, recorded, and filed and adopted by a yea and nay vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that the resolution be received, recorded, and filed and adopted by a yea and nay vote. On the question.
This resolution authorizes the Department of Parks and Recreation to amend their grant application to the State of Delaware Department of Natural Resources and Environmental Control for funds used for the renovations to East Lake Park. So this total will be $190,000. And like I said, this will be used for East Lake Park. And there is a local match. There is a match of $47,500, but those funds were already budgeted into Parks and Rec's budget. So there's no impact, no additional impact to our fiscal standing.
Okay. Councilman Owens?
Yes. While the district that this park is in is second district, my district is literally right across the street. So I would like to be added as a co-sponsor on this and just thank Councilwoman Bracy for helping get this across the finish line so that the park can finish its renovations.
Councilwoman Oliver?
Yes, I remember being in this conversation 2 years ago. I think it was with the senator and state rep. So I think it was an overdue project, and I'm glad to see that, the state was able to make this happen. And kudos to Councilman Bracy for getting it over the finish line.
Anyone else? Okay. Did you have anything else?
Nope, that's
Okay.
it.
All right. Clerk, please call for the roll.
Councilman Owens?
Yes.
Councilwoman Oliver?
Yes.
Councilwoman Harley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Willauer?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes.
Councilman Field? Councilwoman Bracy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabrera?
Yes.
Councilman Spadola?
Yes.
President Congo?
Yes.
10 yeas and 3 absent.
Declare adopted.
Madam Chair, can you ask somebody to mute their?
Can we have all of our people on virtual to mute? Okay. Next. All right. Next is Councilwoman Cabrera.
Yes, Madam Pro Tem. I have an ordinance to present and call for the third and final reading.
Ordinance number 25-070, agenda number 0136. An ordinance to authorize and approve 4 one-year extensions of a professional services agreement between the City of Wilmington and Northeast and Bucks Company, trading as Mullen and Lonergan Associates, Inc.
Madam President, Madam Pro Tem, I move that be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance and call for a yea and nay vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance and call for yea and nay vote. On the question.
Madam Pro Tem, this is just the housekeeping to extend, to do this 4 one-year contracts, extensions for these professional services agreements with this company. So they're really, they're helping prepare the city's 5-year consolidated plan, which includes administration of the city's CDBG, the home and the ESG, and the HOPWA programs.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions?
I have a question.
All right, Councilwoman Oliver.
Yes. Is this, did Councilmember Cabrera said this was an ongoing contract?
I don't know whether or not she can hear you, but yes, it is it's a 4 one-year extension.
Okay.
Okay. Councilwoman Cabrera, did you have any closing remarks?
No, I do not. Thank you.
Okay. Call for the roll.
Councilman Owens?
Yes.
Councilwoman Oliver?
Yes.
Councilwoman Harley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Willauer,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy,
Yes.
Councilman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilman Field,
Yes.
Councilwoman Bracy,
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabrera,
Yes.
Councilman Spadola,
Yes.
President Congo.
Yes.
11 yeas and 2 absent.
Declare adopted.
Madam President, I have an ordinance to present and call for the third and final reading.
A resolution, Councilwoman Cabrera.
I'm sorry, I have a resolution to present and call for the third and final reading.
Resolution 25-067, agenda number 0151, whereas pursuant to section 2-363 of the city code, city council deemed it necessary and proper to specify the requirements for review and approval of city-sponsored grant applications and proposals, including authorization for expedited grant applications when necessary prior to council's approval by resolution. And whereas the Department of Land Use and Planning submitted a grant application to the Delaware Department of State Division and Historical and Cultural Affairs for a federal fiscal year 2024, city fiscal year 2025 pass-through grant from the U.S. Department of the Interior in the amount of $15,707 to support the city's historic preservation planning program, which has been in existence for over 35 years. And whereas, as it has historically, the department intends to use the grant funds.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, continue. Madam Pro Tem, I move that be known. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed my script here. The enacting clause of the resolution and call for a yea/nay vote.
Can I get a
Second.
second? Okay. All right, it's been properly moved and seconded that the resolution be received, recorded, and filed, and adopted by a yea/nay vote.
Thank you.
Question.
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay.
No, I'd like to make a statement. I think this is a great resolution. You always see money coming in from different organizations, but I'm honored to see that it's a grant approval for the city's historical preservation planning program, because the planning department, used to be on the floor a lot, and it seems like it's been a little lax. So I'd like to be added as co-sponsor. This is really good stuff. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman Cabrera, did you have any words?
Nope, I do not.
Okay. Councilman Johnson.
Well, I would like to add it as a co-sponsor. I think this is important as we enter our 250th to look at our history. That is one thing that I don't know why I had this thought early this year, but I don't know why there's not many historical buildings in Wilmington that date back to the 1700s. You look at the redevelopment in the city, a lot of our history is gone. The cobblestone is gone. There's a lot of stuff with dating back to slavery that is gone. So I think we should continue to invest in this historical planning committee and work with the planning department to preserve what history we do have left.
Thank you. Anyone else had any remarks? No, I don't want to get me started. I'm from Pennsylvania. You cannot throw a pebble without it falling on something that William Penn stepped on.
Exactly. Same with me.
Exactly. All right, so there's no one else have any other remarks? Clerk, please call for the roll.
Councilman Owens.
Yes.
Councilwoman Oliver.
Yes.
Councilwoman Harley.
Yes.
Councilwoman Willauer.
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Field.
Yes.
Councilwoman Bracy.
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabrera.
Yes.
Councilman Spadola.
Yes.
President Congo.
Yes.
11 yeas and 2 absent.
Declare adopted.
Yes.
Madam President, I have a resolution to present and call for the third and final reading.
Resolution 25-068, agenda number 0152, whereas pursuant to section 2-363 of the city code, city council deemed it necessary and proper to specify the requirements for review and approval of city-sponsored grant applications and proposals, including authorization for expedited grant applications when necessary prior to council's approval by resolution. And whereas the Department of Land Use and Planning intends to submit a grant application to the Delaware Department of State.
Madam Pro Tem, I have a resolution, I move the resolution be received, recorded, and filed and adopted by a yea and nay vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that the resolution be received, recorded, and filed, and adopted by a yea and nay vote. On the question.
So, Madam President, this resolution is presented by the administration, and it authorizes the Department of Land Use and Planning to grant an application to the Delaware Department Division of Historical and Cultural Affairs in the amount of $15,707 or other amount that the DHCA awards. The funds will be used to support the city's historic preservation planning program, which has been in existence for 35 years.
Are there any other? Councilman Owens.
How's this one different from the last one?
The amount.
The amount?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
It does seem to be
Okay.
duplicated.
163 and 165. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this goes to, the one before that was 2024, 2025, and this is for 2025, 2026.
Thank you.
Okay. Did you still have a question, Councilman Oliver?
No, I just wanted to say, again, I normally see a lot of the grants for the police station or, other organizations, but just to see it finally for the city historical preservation is really good. I'd like to be added as a co-sponsor.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay. Did you have any other remarks, Councilwoman Cabrera?
No, I do not,
Okay.
Madam Chair.
Thank you. Clerk, please call for the roll.
Councilman Owens?
Yes.
Councilwoman Oliver?
Yes.
Councilwoman Harley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Willauer?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes.
Councilman Field?
Yes.
Councilwoman Bracy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabrera?
Yes.
Councilman Spadola?
Yes.
President Congo?
Yes.
11 yeas and 2 absent.
Declare adopted. Okay. Thank you, Councilman Cabrera. And Councilman Spadola, we are holding your piece of legislation?
The one piece, the water legislation, but I have the online access piece.
Okay. So then, please.
Thank you. Madam President, I have an ordinance to present and call for the third and final reading.
Ordinance 25-063, agenda number 0128, an ordinance to amend Chapter 2 of the City Code to require all legislative and administrative bodies of the city to provide members of the public a way to participate in public meetings virtually.
Madam President, I move that be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance and call for the yea/nay vote.
Second.
Okay. It's been properly moved and seconded that it be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance and call for a yea and nay vote. On the question.
Thank you, Madam President. I have a floor amendment I'm going to introduce in a second. But this, what came about, I just assumed all the city meetings and commissions were being held online, and then there was a ZBA meeting that I know somebody tried to pop online for, and there was no online access available. And I saw that it was not the first time. So I think members of the public nowadays have the expectation that they can participate virtually. And I believe the administration has been trying to do that as much as possible without this, but I wanted to put this on the books to mandate online access for all commissions, ZBA hearings, all that stuff going forward. And I did take into account some understandable feedback from the administration, specifically to if the city has a official meeting off-site, they might not be able to get it online. Understandable. So with that, I would like to make a motion for a floor amendment at this time.
Okay.
On page 2, section 1, everybody has this page, I believe.
Madam President, point I didn't hear, he said motion, but I didn't hear anybody.
I'm
second
sorry.
it. I heard him say he was trying to, oh, no, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so he's basically
Go ahead, I'm
stated that
looking
he
at
has
it
a floor
now. I
amendment.
thought he was asking for somebody to second something. I misunderstood.
Okay.
I'm sorry, my
Now he's
fault.
going to go ahead and tell
My
us what
fault.
his amendment is.
On page 2, section 1, insert the following. Letter D, all reasonable steps shall be taken to ensure that virtual access is functional and available prior to the start of each meeting. Technical limitations shall not be used as a routine or avoidable justification for failing to provide virtual access. In any instance where virtual access is not provided or is interrupted due to technical limitations, the chair or their designee shall notify the City Council Chief of Staff by email within 5 business days describing 1, the nature of the technical issue, 2, the steps taken to attempt to restore or provide access, and 3, whether any corrective actions are planned to prevent recurrence. Letter E, virtual access shall not be required when 1, such access is not reasonably feasible despite reasonable effort due to technical limitations, or 2, the meeting is held in a non-city-owned facility, including but not limited to schools, libraries, houses of worship, community centers, which lack the capacity to support virtual participation. On page 2, section 2, insert the following. Letter D, all reasonable steps shall be taken to ensure that virtual access is functional and available prior to the start of each meeting. Technical limitations shall not be used as a routine or avoidable justification for failing to provide virtual access. Letter E, virtual access shall not be required when 1, such access is not reasonably feasible despite reasonable effort due to technical limitations, or 2, the meeting is held in a non-city-owned facility, including but not limited to schools, libraries, houses of worship, or community centers which lack the capacity to support virtual participation. Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay. All right. So, it has been properly moved and seconded. So we need to get a yea and a vote on the floor amendment.
So moved.
I have a
All right.
debate on the floor.
Okay, I'm sorry. On the question.
I understand the intent of the administration, but limiting it to only off-site, I mean, what does this really do? Because for instance, the problem is like the Land Bank, for instance, the organization that does not do virtual. And now this won't address that. So, not saying I'm against it, I just don't, I believe it kind of waters it down, the intent of it, but, that's up to the sponsor. And I'm not saying I'm not supportive of it, but it's just more like, what are we really getting at? If it was a problem with the ZBA, I feel like it could have been addressed with the ZBA. The real problem is the Land Bank, an entity that we know we can't participate in publicly with, virtually.
Okay. All right. Councilwoman Oliver.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to echo, that was, that's what my thoughts was, so, it's not really clear to me, myself either. I just thought it was a hiccup that day with the ZBA because I'm always able to get on there and, sometimes things happen. But, if this should be in place for that, we should have the Land Bank on here also because they don't even, I've never heard anybody even mention that. They don't even do virtual. And then we're trying to put something in to say it's mandatory for the city of Wilmington, and that's never came up. And the Land Bank's been on this floor and in this body for I don't know how long, but we didn't include that in there. So why are we, just singling out the city of Wilmington ZBA? So I mean, I'm glad you mentioned that, Councilman Johnson. So for that reason, I won't be voting for this because why would we do it for one and not do it for everybody? It's not fair.
Right. Councilman Bracy.
So I just have 2 things. First, the Land Bank isn't a city department. This is for all city departments, if I'm understanding this correct, sponsor.
I'm not sure how the Land Bank would fit.
Right, because they're
My-
not a city department.
Yeah, my intent was for the ZBA, to bring us closer to being more transparent. I'd be happy to work on an additional piece of legislation with anybody for the Land Bank, but it's like, we can't get everything we want, so
Right.
we don't want to improve transparency. I think that's misguided, Councilmember Oliver.
Yeah. So the only reason I asked that is because I can give one example. Councilman Owens and I served on the homelessness task force, and those meetings weren't all held here. It's because we started here, and the feedback from the community was that you're having the meetings in the sterile city council office instead of being out in the community. The reason we were having them here is because that gave everyone virtual access. Once we started going out into the community, the ministry, caring in other places, the virtual access was lost. So I can see how sometimes there's and we even, one of the administration's staffers even tried to do like a Zoom on her laptop, which sort of worked, but not really. So I could see where in some instances when we're outside of this building, there is no Zoom access, or, but so I just wanted to use that as an example of when it could happen, because it did happen for us a couple of times.
I get it.
Thanks.
Does anyone else have any remarks? Okay. Councilwoman Harley, did you still need to make a remark?
No, thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay. So actually, I do have a question, because this was, it was a lot. I just wanted to make certain that I understanding. So now, this is basically, are we talking about every board or commission or committee here within the city, or just departments? And the reason why I do understand why they try to make certain that there was some type of, differentiation, whatever, between the two is because, like you said, we can't always be outside. There's some times where we've actually had meetings in spaces where we have to make certain that we do a 7-day notice. It has to be agenda, but there is no camera anywhere around. I'm like, but we still have to make certain that there's ability for the public to join us, but that doesn't mean that we're always going to have a camera nearby. Right. So I just wanted just to find out whether or not is this just if we're having anything that's here inside the building. Is that it?
That was basically mine.
Okay.
Yes.
So if anything that's actually here, we having a meeting here within the building, they want to make certain that they have access to a virtual portion of it. Okay.
Correct.
All right. So if there's nothing else, I'm like, we are basically voting on the floor amendment. So, oh, did you have?
I'm getting ready to vote.
You took in some air. I was like, Okay, so I need to know, can we get am I just doing a floor vote? Voice vote? Okay. Voice vote? Okay, so I just need to know all those in favor for the floor amendment.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Okay. All right, so now we can get back to, so the floor amendment is passed, has been adopted, and now we can get back to the actual ordinance.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So yes, with this, basically, there's a spectrum of accessibility that we provide the public. Right now, we're here. If the goal is here, this legislation moves us slightly this way. It might not be perfect. It might not include every non-city entity that you want, but it still gets us closer to being a more inclusive public body. So with that, I ask for your support. Thank you. And I'm happy to work on expanding it even more so afterwards.
Madam President.
Okay.
Madam.
Councilman Oliver?
Yeah, may I ask the sponsor a question?
Okay, are we on the questions?
Are we on the-
Did we go to the question for the ordinance?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. You may.
Councilman Spadola, are you presenting this as a Democrat or Republican? I'd like to get this on the record.
What?
I said, are you presenting this as a Democrat or
I'm a
Republican?
Democrat.
I never heard you say it
Yes,
publicly. So
I'm a Democrat.
you're a Democrat? You're
Yes.
presenting this as a Democrat?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right, thank you. Are there any other questions? All right, Councilman Owens.
Yes, I do have a quick question. So throughout this, it says participate virtually. Is this in regards to public comment, or are you asking for all these meetings to be streamed through WITN on Channel 22
Good
and the
question.
YouTube page?
No, WITN is not a component of this, but it is specifically to allow for public comment, yes.
For Zoom, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Do we have any, all right, Councilman Johnson?
That is a great question, actually, by Councilman Owens, because I think we'd still look at the implementation. We can pass this, but I think ideally this would be WITN as they produce all of our city streaming, but that's going to have a fiscal impact on WITN. We know that's a moving target with WITN. So I think we should look at how this gets implemented. I think the issue with Zoom is even how do we implement, we have to have production, because to have that question answered, there needs to be a producer on the other end. Like, you can't just sit with a laptop. So this does beg the question, if we pass this, really there should be another fiscal amendment when we do this budget to increase WITN's budget. So again, that's just throwing it out there, but we got to have that with this so it can be produced the right way.
Okay. Are there any other questions or any other remarks? Okay. Councilwoman Harley.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to be clear on the genesis of this legislation. Is it because of the one time there was a there was an access to Zoom when our former solicitor left, who, to my understanding in committee, they basically explained that there was a hiccup and it has been addressed. So I thought that was the main reason why the resident wasn't able to access Zoom, but this discussion is sounding like it's above and beyond that, and I'm just trying to make sure that I'm clear on what's happening. What we're talking about, I mean, it just sounds like it's going way beyond that one incident. So I guess my question is to the sponsor. One, is this just to address that one hiccup? Yes, and or that and beyond?
Passing this legislation will ideally prevent any hiccups in the future.
Thank you.
Any other questions? So I actually had one remark. This is basically what Councilman Johnson just stated about having some type of fiscal impact, looking at WITN. If it's happening here within the chambers, I would imagine that it'll be WITN, but I do know from experience, the ZBA meeting was basically run where someone had a laptop on this desk and they were trying to run the meeting and facilitate the meeting also while on Zoom, basically. That's what that was. So if you're actually here within chambers should be able to, we should be able to find out whether or not that has any type of fiscal impact, if there's going to cost anything else more, just to be able to have, what do we have, 2 ZBA meetings a month? Like that's yeah, so I didn't know whether or not, I don't have any issue with wanting to make certain we have transparency and then also making certain that we are able to provide virtual when it is possible. But anything that's actually happened in this building within this chambers or the committee, if we probably should we should be making certain that WITN is informed. Yes.
I want to add a second round of comment for this.
Okay. So I just want to say that I believe that WITN should be informed, and that's something that we may need to look at. Councilman Johnson.
That is my concern, and I'm not the finance chair, but it is. I think we have to look at that because I don't like to put burden on people and not include the resources. If we're going to ask WITN to do more work in the building, there should be a fiscal note attached to it. So I would plead to the sponsor, we need to look at that and consider, do we up their budget or do we have some contingent budget because we don't want an unfunded mandate.
Yes.
To be clear, we're not asking WITN to do this.
Okay.
I agree that I think best practices, there would be a serious fiscal note, though, if WITN was streaming all city commissions, all different boards and whatnot, but that is not related to this.
And if I may ask, then how would we be doing the virtual if it is not through our station?
It will be as unpretty as you mentioned earlier, somebody up there with a laptop or a phone.
Okay.
But at least this gives the public the opportunity to comment.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, so if there's no other questions. Is there another question? Okay, all right. So are we ready to call for the roll?
Yes.
All right. Clerk, please call for the roll.
Councilman Owens?
No.
Councilwoman Oliver?
No.
Councilwoman Harley?
Present.
Councilwoman Willauer?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
No.
Councilman Field?
Yes.
Councilwoman Bracy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabrera?
Yes.
Councilman Spadola?
Yes.
President Congo?
Yes.
7 yeas, 1 present, and 3 nays, and 2 absent.
Declare adopted. Okay. All right, that.
Madam President, could I get that vote again?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the vote because I thought members present.
Would you mind? Yes,
How many
sir.
members are present?
It's an ordinance.
I know, that's why I'm
7
asking the question.
7 yeas.
Okay.
3 nays, 1 present, and 2 absent.
As long as he has the 7 years.
Yeah, I just was asking a question because I know it's how many present, even if it's 7. I'll just find out. I hope I can ask a question. Okay, thank you.
Madam President, request to be excused.
Yes, you may be
Thank you.
excused. Thank you. So that actually finishes our legislation. We can move to our petition and communications. I actually had someone who also asked to be excused. Councilwoman Harley, you may be excused as well.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right, so, Councilman, we had the petition and communication. Hold up, where am I at? Okay, so petition and communications. Councilman Owens.
Nothing tonight, Madam President.
Okay. Councilwoman Oliver.
Yes, Madam President, I would like to thank all city council members who participated in the turkey drive. I received a lot of calls. A lot of seniors were happy. A lot of community members, people throughout the city of Wilmington. So it was really good this year for, a lot of people did different things, but long story short, as long as we fed some of the individuals who really was in need, I thought it was a good thing. Hopefully next year we could do things a little differently, but long story short, the seniors were happy. Everybody's talking good things about the turkey drive, so I thought it really went well. Next, I would like to thank E&L Barbecue and this barbecue for contributing dinners to Hare Manor. I'd like to thank ShopRite for going beyond the call of duty and really helping everybody out. I'd like to thank everybody who, did their part in helping all the high risers, period. Next, I'd like to thank Eastside Civic Association for putting baskets together and working with the Neighborhood House CDC, giving out baskets throughout the East Side and Southbridge. So this year just felt like it was a collaboration, one way or another, different sides of towns. People was doing a lot of things, but the momentum was there. Everybody was happy. And I'd like to thank Urban Bike League, Laura, for really stepping up, helping with the legislation. I'd like to thank Kendra and our fellow who really put a lot of time in to this, and Chris Manning, who will be missed, for helping out with the e-bike legislation. And it was something else, but I didn't write it down. Right now, that would be it. And may I be excused, Madam President?
Yes, you may be excused.
Thank you.
Okay. Councilwoman Willauer.
Excuse me. Thank you, Madam Pro Tem. I just wanted to invite everybody to the Hicks 2025 Holiday Brunch, which is taking place on December 20th from 11 to 2 p.m. at the Wilmington Hicks Anderson Community Center. It's sponsored by the Department of Parks and Rec, and it's just going to be a really fun event for families with free toy giveaway, family activities, make your own ornaments, blanket giveaway. Everybody's welcome. That's all I have, Madam Pro Tem.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Johnson.
I have no matters tonight, Madam President.
Councilman Field.
Nothing tonight, Madam President.
Councilwoman Bracy.
Nothing tonight.
She's still on? Councilwoman Cabrera?
Nothing this evening.
Okay. All right. Well, before I get to you, President Congo, I would just like to say thank you thank you to Councilman Owens for inviting me to take part of the turkey. What was it? We did something for the firefighters. So that was great. In Station 6, where I was able to go back to the firefighters and visit that group. And I hadn't seen them in a little bit and be able to give them a Thanksgiving. Also, I'd like to thank Vanity Constance, a friend of mine who actually invited me to serve dinners and put together dinners and to be able to hand them out to those within the community. So Thanksgiving actually, it was a lot going on that day. So I do thank all those who thought of me and said, you know what? Yolanda needs the help, so so I do thank them for allowing me to do so. I think that may be all. Also, I would like to thank Francisco Iacono, and Bishop Doris Redding. So we have a project that is happening. Our MPC is actually doing a project within the 6th District. And the beginning of that project, it is the Children's Garden, Nikki D'Angelo Children's Garden. And the first step to that project was a mural. So the mural has been completed. I thank the artist, Francisco Iacono. And so now that the mural is completed, we can begin with the redesign. So I just want to thank the 6th District MPC. The president is Bishop Doris Redding. And this is what she does. I'm so glad that she's within our neighborhood, and her board are putting together great projects to try to beautify the 6th District. So I say thank you. All right, and President Congo.
Yes, thank you. I want to thank you, first of all, for presiding over tonight's meeting. Did a great job. That's really it. Just want to encourage everybody to keep coming to our council meetings and participating virtually or live in council chambers. And if any of us can help you in any way, please call us at 302-576-2140. 302-576-2140. All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Okay, and can I accept the motion to adjourn?
Second.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Have a great evening, everyone.